Hi everybody, it's Stewart Swerdlow.
And Janet Diane Mourglia-Swerdlow.
And this is the Expansions News Podcast for the third week of July 2017. And it actually is the first day I had a few minutes I actually went into the pool. Of course I had to clean it the time that I was having fun, but I actually went in the first time this season.
You like to clean, so that was your fun.
No, I don't like to clean.
Yeah, you do.
I wish I had little frog servants that would go in and clean it up for me, you know.
We can order some.
If anybody out there has little frog people,
servants.
Little frog people that are willing to clean swimming pools and other things, please
send them.
Send
You have
them.
a birthday coming up in a few months.
Yeah, don't wait till my birthday.
No?
You know, it's like, make it like a summer party present or something.
That sounds good. We can have summer party
and
presents.
wouldn't it be cool if each little frog came with like a little bottle of vodka attached to his little nose or something? How cute would that be? See what you could do, people. Anyway, listen, today, guess what? Big news. I am not politically correct. Not. And so, are you ready? No, don't answer. Keep quiet. Yeah, here it goes. Listen. And this is why I'm in Switzerland neutral. So, I'm speaking as a Swiss person.
You might insult the Swiss people, so you better not.
Well, they get insulted for everything. You know, eat some cheese, look at a watch, have chocolate, you know, maybe go in the Alps, yodel, and you'll get over it. But as you know, 2,000 years ago, my family came from Switzerland.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, remember that?
I remember.
You were there.
I was there. I watched them go. I waved. Yeah. I said, bye, family leaving Switzerland.
Yeah, don't go to Russia, but oh, they went. Anyway, so I have this story about Israel. Now, you know, not one of my favorite places, but Israel, for the first time on this past week, the second week of July, said that they talked about the extent of the humanitarian aid to the civilian population living across the border with Syria. And according to this information, it's well documented that Israel has provided emergency medical treatment to Syrian fighters. Can you believe that? Just like they're, you know, it's like we helping, you know, ISIS fighters. And as many as 3,000 wounded individuals have made their way to the border and received life-saving medical treatment. And that's very nice for the Israelis to do that. Now, according to some media reports, Israel has provided financial and other support, they don't say what that is, to rebel groups fighting against the army of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Okay, so they don't like the president of Syria, so they support his enemies. You know, like, what else is new? Then the Israeli army opened its storerooms and briefed journalists. Okay, Israel, secret about everything. They, oh, look, in our storerooms, journalists. And they said they have transferred, under Operation Good Neighbors, they have transferred 360 tons of food, 450,000 liters of gasoline, they should give us a little bit of that, and 50 tons of clothing to Syria. To me, this is a propaganda news op. And then, also last week, at a meeting with Eastern European leaders in Budapest, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was heard saying that Israel had carried out dozens of attacks against armed convoys in Syria that were making their way to the Lebanese group Hezbollah. So they're healing and helping this group and killing that group. Okay? Now, Netanyahu said also, we blocked the border not only in Egypt, but in the Golan Heights. Okay, and he told this to the leaders of Hungary, Czech Republic, Poland, and Slovakia. So there's like that Eastern European mentality, which you love in me so much, right? And he also said, we built the wall. Now, doesn't even mention it, all of a sudden a wall appears, because there was a problem with ISIS and Iran trying to build a terror front there. And this is Netanyahu. I told Putin, when we see them transferring weapons to Hezbollah, we will hurt them. What would Putin say to that? Oh, okay, fine. Have some vodka and shut up. Now, this is the best part, people. This is where I get apolitical, or what's the word? There is no word, is it? It's a stupolitical. Okay. Anyway, the meeting was held, listen people, behind closed doors, but Netanyahu's remarks were accidentally transmitted to reporters covering the event. Accidentally. Give all this information. Really? Accidentally. This is Israel accidentally, right? They don't tell anybody anything. Propaganda report, okay? Remember that. And he said that Israel has provided aid to 200,000 civilians living in Syria. Israel has transferred infrastructure equipment such as generators, piping to repair water systems, and hundreds of tons of basic food supplies and medicine. Why don't they do that to the people in Gaza that they blew up?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Neither does anyone else. The Israeli army has also facilitated basic medical treatment for Syrian children and their parents in triage clinics that are set up along the border. So this is all not because Israel gives a hoot or a damn about them. It's for propaganda purposes and to do this to Iran and all. That's what it's about, because the people who really need help, for example, they have blocked Palestinians from worshiping and attacked demonstrators. Was that secretly revealed to anybody? No.
And they throw out old ladies out of their houses.
Yeah,
So
and,
that
and,
young
and
people
bulldoze
can-
houses because their children or their grandchildren did something. So Israel, charity begins at home. Instead of helping Syrians who are involved in their own war, why don't you help the people who live within your borders? Okay? And listen, and you heard this phone call this morning. Today I received a phone call from someone who represented the Israeli government and argued with me about something which I argued back and then hung up on them. Okay, and this is why people don't like Israelis, because they don't talk, they don't negotiate, they yell and argue, so hang up. And that's what they did to me. What do they do to Arab countries? Okay. No comment. Fine. Well, because you have no comment, I'm going to another Middle Eastern country, Turkey. Which, by the way, I love Thanksgiving turkey.
I was just going to say the same thing.
I love Thanksgiving turkey, but this is the country of Turkey. Why would they name the country after a domestic animal?
Do you know what?
What?
It'll be Thanksgiving soon.
Ooh, watch out, President Erdogan, because we can eat him. He's a turkey.
We have August. Then what's the next month? September, October, November.
4 months,
Yeah.
and that's what Turkey's in trouble. Yeah. Anyway, Turkey and the U.S.-backed YPG forces. YPG is some name of Kurdish military group that wants to separate from Turkey, and they have been fighting. Turkish has been fighting with them, and the two sides exchanged rocket fire, which Turkey says killed 11 YPG fighters. And the YPG commander said this was a declaration of war. Hello, there's been a war way before that one happened, okay? The YPG, as a terrorist group, is considered an extension of the PKK. Do you understand? Like, YPG, PKK,
Yippagin.
MOUSE, okay? And it said that they want their own Kurdish state within Turkey. And the U.S. has placed itself right between the two sides. How unusual for the United States. And Turkey, but now this is interesting, is the third largest purchaser of U.S. weapons. I did not know that. I would never have imagined that. I'm sure the Israelis are the first. And in early May, the U.S. began, here's the interesting, the U.S. began supplying weapons to the YPG, which is the enemy of Turkey, because they want the YPG to fight ISIS, or IS, see? And so that made Turkey angry at the U.S. and also is mad at the U.S. for not extraditing Fethullah Gulen, who is that Muslim cleric who lives in Pennsylvania and has been accused of organizing the attempted coup in 2016, which we know Erdogan organized it himself so that he could win it and make himself look good. It has nothing to do with the guy living in Pennsylvania, okay? And Turkey's now moving their loyalty towards Russia, which like everyone in the world seems to be doing that because the U.S. sucks. And the Turkish and the Russians agreed to build a pipeline through Turkey to go around Ukraine and supply Europe with natural gas, which I basically could do that myself.
I was just going to comment on that.
If they attach a pipeline to me, I could supply most of Europe with natural gas.
That I know.
And it'd be much
can
cheaper,
attest to.
much
Yes.
cheaper, by the
Yeah,
way.
you wouldn't be nearly so expensive, would you?
Yes, yes. So according to this, Turkey has been pissed off at the U.S. for a long time. Join the list, okay, of who's pissed off at the U.S. Americans are pissed off at the U.S.
They actually wrote that in that article. You're right.
Hello, I don't make this stuff up, okay? Now, and according to the Turks, the Pentagon is running their own show and doesn't even check with the State Department. That's because they're all bozos and they're brain dead. Now, according to this, if a full-scale war breaks out between Turkey and the YPG, that would happen when the fighting against ISIS is over. And so, obviously, they're telling you soon ISIS will vanish as mysteriously as they appeared, and then there will be this war with Turkey and the Kurds, and this is really a plan by the U.S. and the Israelis to break up Turkey, Iraq, and Iran, all of which have Kurdish populations which want to be independent, and Israel actually has military base in the new Kurdistan in northern Iraq at this very moment.
Mm-hmm. So they want to take over the Kurdish people, or they want to...
They want to pull them into the sphere of U.S.-Israeli manipulation.
Mm-hmm. Because the Kurdish people have very interesting genetics.
We know a Kurdish person here
Yes.
who's very well known because he's stateless. The government wanted to throw him out. People have tried to save him. I have written articles about him in Huffington Post, and he's a very decent, wonderful person who's considered a terrorist by Turkey and the United States.
Mm-hmm. But interesting,
But again, they probably think that of me too.
the Kurds are not Muslim.
That's a form of it. They believe in that. It starts with an A.
Don't remember.
Yeah, they believe they worship a cousin of Muhammad.
Did you write about them in True World History?
I don't remember.
You wrote about the Kurds?
I don't remember.
Interesting. I know we've talked about it in our seminars, and I probably will be bringing that up in our September Spectacular one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will. Go on. You make
My
it
turn?
on. Yes.
Okay. I don't have a lot of news for me.
It's okay.
I have a few stories, because I was a little disgusted with the news this week, so I
she was
just didn't even
disgusted.
want to report some
By the way,
that disgusting.
I was news. She was disgusted with the news. Go on.
Anyway, so I'm just going to start off with some that were a little bit more interesting, but not quite as disgusting as some of the things I read.
Ooh, but those are the fun things that you,
Well, sometimes it's like, really, this is just too disgusting,
even for you.
even for me.
Wow.
But anyway, I guess I'm just going to start off with the weather, because I know you like climate change. You're a firm believer.
I love climate
in
change.
that.
Just love it.
And as you know, with all this global warming that's going on,
Oh yeah, that sounds so hot today.
that Chile actually had a winter snowfall, which never happened.
That's because
in
it's
Santiago.
chilly down there.
Yeah, because it never snows.
Well, it's Santiago.
But now with global warming, now they're having snowing.
Okay, so listen, it is winter in South America.
Right.
However, Santiago is not in the snow belt. There's palm trees there. It's beautiful. I've been there a couple of times. And this is the biggest snowstorm in their history.
Yeah, that's because of global warming.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, then the next thing that I want to tell you about, you may have heard about that. U.S. Congressman Dana Rohrabacher, who is a Republican from California, asked a senior NASA panel if aliens lived on Mars thousands of years
Really?
ago. And the senior NASA Mars rover scientist, who they never did name in this article, told the congressman it is extremely unlikely. So the internet erupted over this bizarre exchange because the comments were made during a hearing of the U.S. House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. And during this hearing, NASA announced many of its big budget plans, including a Mars 2020 rover, a Europa flyby mission, and potentially a follow-up lander to the Jovian moon Europa. And during all of this, the senior California Republican congressman asked if aliens lived on Mars
Now,
thousands of years
why
ago.
would they ask that question unless there was a
Why?
reason?
That's right, because they're putting this out into the public, as they seem to be doing a lot of these
Right.
days, okay? The next is life expectancy.
Uh-oh.
Now this I'm sure you'll identify because this was given by University College London expert Sir Michael Marmot.
Oh, and Mike like me.
Since you're a sir now.
I should really announce that last section. This is Sir, Dr. Reverend Stewart
Yeah, you've got a lot of titles now.
I do. And
Anyway,
more coming.
Sir Michael Marmot said he was deeply concerned because of the rising rates of life expectancy have come to a grinding halt in England after more than 100 years of continuous progress.
Did you see what they eat in England? I am not surprised.
He said it was entirely possible austerity was to blame and said the issue needed looking at urgently. But the government said its policies were not responsible. And then riding on the heels of this article was a claim made by U.S. scientists who claimed that human lifespans may be limited to a maximum of about 115 years.
Boulder Dash.
Apparently their conclusions, which were published in the journal called Nature, was made by analyzing decades of data on human longevity.
Yeah.
They said that some scientists praised the studies, others have labeled it a dismal travesty. Because they said life expectancy has been increasing relentlessly since the 19th century due to vaccines,
Of course.
safer
All the chemicals did it.
childbirth, and tackling cancers like cancer and heart disease.
Right, because that doesn't exist anymore.
However, you'll be interested to know Professor Jan Vij.
Who?
Jan
Jan
Vij.
Vig.
V-I-J-G.
Yeah, you don't pronounce the J like that.
No, Vig?
He's a Dutch. Jan Vig.
Okay. One of the researchers from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine said, in people over 105, we make very little progress. That tells you we are most likely approaching the limit to human life. So I guess people are supposed to get scared. It says the maximum people could live is about 115.
Right, and how do they know that?
Well, apparently they did experiments with animals in ideal conditions.
Of course, because animals are just like people.
So Professor J. Olshansky
Olshansky, yeah.
from the University of Illinois said mice tend to live for about 1,000 days. Dogs for about 5,000 days, and so therefore I guess they extrapolate that into humanity to say they only live to be 115.
Uh-huh.
But you can extend this to maybe 120, 125, or 130 if you develop thousands of or tens of thousands of different drugs.
Of course, so it's all about drugs.
Yep.
But they should just watch your cooking shows on how to eat properly, and we could live for hundreds of years.
How about how just to think properly? Let's start with that. It doesn't even matter what you put in your body, it's what you put in your mind.
That's the truth.
So I thought this was interesting. And then, moving right along, on something I know is going to interest you.
Yes.
It says that grooms are wearing makeup for their wedding day. The beauty treatments and makeup for grooms is becoming a bigger and bigger part of the wedding industry.
Where? In San Francisco?
No, I was talking about the New York Post article. The point being is first because the makeup industry for females is huge, right?
They call it man makeup, don't they?
I don't know what they call it because I don't get it. Do you know it? Is that how you know?
This is my natural beauty. I don't need anything on my face.
Okay, so the point being is if they not only do they get women to wear a mask, if they can get men to wear a mask, they can
mask?
a mask. That's what makeup is. Makeup represents a mask.
Well, you know, ancient Egyptian men used to wear makeup.
Well, a lot of people, I mean, even tribal people, they put on, their thing, their ceremonial things, but it's for a reason, not just to be a mask so you can be a puppet for whatever it is they want you to be.
Yes, yes.
Point being is, if they can get men to wear makeup in the same way that women buy makeup, they're going to open up a huge new market for the global elite.
Listen to me, that's never going to happen.
No, that's what they said
Because men
about
are
all
not
of
going to
this.
wear makeup,
Of course
and
they
they're not
are.
going to wear dresses, and they're not
Yes.
going to wear heels, and all the other things that they said, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, let's see what happens.
I'm telling you.
And then I'm going into my things that I keep reporting to you about the gender fluidity, which of course is another big mass mind control programming.
Yeah,
Now, we have watched before the show called Doctor Who.
right.
And Doctor Who, or The Doctor, right? The Doctor in this 13th series is going to be a female.
It was an interesting, it's the 13th.
Yes,
13th.
it's the 13th.
And they changed the gender.
Yeah.
But here's my question, and maybe you don't know, maybe.
Well, it's actually the
viewer
13th
will-
Time Lord.
Yeah, well, it's the 13th, so
Yeah.
so that's an Illuminati number, power number. So are they saying that the Doctor became a woman, or something else?
Well, we won't know till we actually watch
Or
the
did
show.
he actually be completely replaced by a different person who was?
It's still called the Doctor, so now the Doctor's a female. So it's the
Well-
same soul, but now it's a female.
So it is a gender change.
Yeah, it's a gender change.
Which means the Doctor was all along androgynous. Which
Well-
meant he was a reptilian.
I don't know. Maybe next time, maybe in the 14th one,
I
he'll
just
be
figured out the whole thing.
maybe in the 14th one, the Doctor will be a reptilian or an alien.
But they know they
Well,
did
he's
have
already
reptilian,
an
they had a
alien.
reptilian female in the show.
Yeah.
On occasion.
Yeah, but the Doctor really is already an alien, so that's already
That's
established.
true. That's true. Yeah.
So I would just say that now this is gender fluidity because now the Doctor, who we were used to for all these years
So-
being a male, is now going to be a female.
So they might have to change it to Doctor what?
And then the next thing, which I thought was interesting, is now, and I've heard this actually on and off for the last few years, that the next James Bond 007, which remember that was used for the Queen's birthday. Remember her Jubilee birthday? There was a lot of talk about
Someone jumped out of a parachute. or
yeah,
something.
pretending to be her or whatever.
Right.
But a lot of this 007, now they're saying that the next James Bond should be a female. So again, they're playing all this gender role switching with your brain. And that's really the end of my news because the rest
Ooh,
of it was
that's
too
very short for
it was
you.
too disgusting.
I can't believe. Just give me a title. Like, what was it about?
Well, women now they have to do operations on their nipples
Why?
because they're not as, I guess, pretty as the naked ones. All the females.
No, I saw a story that said that the women, because it would be very tight haltered,
Yeah.
they're building fake nipples into the halter top so that people think it's your nipples, but it's just your fake one.
Yeah, so that's
more perfect.
disgusting. And then because again, first of all, that was designer vaginas, which I think is really. We talked about that last time
right.
that the little girls who see somebody else's vagina supposedly.
Why would they be looking at
I
that?
don't know. And now you see women dressed in like these big vagina costumes.
They have vagina costumes.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And then they have, I told you about the woman who said that her vagina had a voice. That was that.
Oh, that I remember.
Bill
Yeah,
Nye
right.
the Science Guy and Rachel
Oh,
Boyle. Yeah, that was last week, right?
Right.
And then the other one that I saw that I wasn't going to report on was the fact that they want to give now ecstasy to alcoholics because that will break their addiction to alcohol.
And make them ecstasy addicted.
Yes.
Perfect.
So, I mean,
Brilliant solution.
yeah, so that's why I said there's so many stories that were so disgusting. It was like, you know what, this week I can't even report on it.
Do you wonder why aliens do
disgusting.
what they do? Do you wonder why aliens do what they
Well,
do?
the thing is like I said, you come to our webinars, you come to our seminars, come to our events, and we'll teach you how to be who you are and not who somebody is trying to tell you who to be.
Yes, but
It's
don't
ridiculous.
dress like a giant vagina.
No. And this is the true reality of sexuality. We wrote this back in, I think, 2002. And 13 Cubed, both of these, mind control and programming, how to deprogram yourself, because nobody else can do it for you.
Which, by the way, is going to these books. Most of my books will be part of the new curriculum for Pan American University.
Most of our books.
Our books
will be a part of the curriculum for the new online course that they're developing. And then, of course, we have the True World History and True Off-World History, Blue Blood and True World History. And Heal Yourself, those 3 sets, the Hyperspace Helper. This is probably our bestseller. Little tiny book, very, very
Good
little.
things come in little packages.
Yes. So anyway, this is
Except-
really probably
never
one of
mind,
our
never
top.
mind.
No, this is one of our top sellers. Hyperspace Plus, which comes on to supplement to the first one I just showed you, Healing Archetypes and Symbols, which is a huge body of work. Lots of colored pictures for those of you who like color.
I like colors.
Yeah, see? So lots of good info. And then foundational books that you need, 1,099 daily affirmations
Wow.
for self-change. That means anything that you want to work on except gender fluidity. That's not in here. This
But do you have to say all 1,099 every day?
maybe. And that will help you with whatever you want and decoding your life. So we have a ton of books for you.
And don't forget White Owl Legend.
Oh yeah, I didn't bring
and
those.
all
We have a
other
ton.
books.
They
you
can
know.
go on our site, expansions.com. And then we have, I mentioned our September Spectacular, which is our next week-long class where we will go into all
Right.
kinds of history and all kinds
A lot
of
of things. Yeah.
history, alien agenda, health and healing, blah, blah, blah.
lot of things.
Everything you always wanted to know. But
Or didn't know
can-
you wanted to.
Right, and come here and ask us. But
And then
before
August 2nd,
that, right,
August 2nd.
is a big webinar
Yes.
for our Spanish-speaking
Well,
friends.
it's going to be, that's why I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
It's going to be bilingual for English and Spanish. So anybody who can speak English or Spanish can join this webinar August 2nd. And I think it's listed on our website that you can sign up and register. And it will be from Quito, Ecuador.
Okay, and then we have our bus trip. We have only 3 spaces left.
That's it.
And somebody today on Facebook asking, so we may only be down to 2, I'm not sure.
They have very little time to do it.
Yeah, so anyway, contact information, customer support at expansions.com. And what else?
Then we have, also, any of you who have signed up for the bus trip, please let us know, because there may have been a little bit of a mix-up with not putting it under the expansions heading.
Right.
So
You need
please,
to
if you have
contact-
signed up, let us know.
Patricia, customer support at expansions.com.
October is my tentative seminar in Belgium. And November is Tampa, which we'll give more details in the next week or so. New Year's Eve.
That's still up in the works. We're not sure about that.
Okay, and then.
January class, which is what we have every year, so on and so forth. So, all right.
Okay, all right.
So we have-
so on and so forth.
So we have lots of things going on all over the world. There's no reason. Join our membership, $26 a month, less than $1 a day. We're on there every day, and you can learn how to be who you are and not who other people want
Instead
you
of
to
a
be.
giant vagina.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to be that, really.
Or a fake,
even if
or
you're
a fake nipple.
Yeah, even if you're female, you don't want to be that, or male, you don't want to be a fake nipple.
Don't wear men don't wear makeup.
Yeah, just be who you are. That's what's important.
See how beautiful? Look, no makeup,
Yeah,
beautiful.
beautiful. Right?
Can't help it.
All right.
All right, that's it for now. Bye.
Bye.